What is up, everybody? Listen, can we just, before I say anything, can we talk about the fact that Joel Embiid almost just hit that shot? Joel Embiid, off a missed free throw from Chris Paul, almost just hit a full court shot that literally went into the rim, bounced out. Damn. All I can say is damn to that, because that would have been a highlight you would have seen everywhere. Allah said it himself. You would have seen that everywhere if he would have sunk that shot. But Sixers lose 116 to 113 to the Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul, man. Chris Paul was a menace to the Sixers tonight. I gotta look at what points he got again. But Chris Paul, man, ended the game 28 points on 17 shots with 8 assists, 5 for 8 from 3. Like he really did pick us apart tonight, and that to me was the major key to why the Sixers end up losing there. I think if you have Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, this game looks a lot different. I think that's obvious, but definitely Matisse doing a great job on Devin Booker, making him hit a tough shot at the end. Um, but all game Devin Booker 0 for 3, 0 for 3 from the 3-point arc, from behind the 3-point arc, I should say, and 6 for 14. Matisse Thybulle, guys, I want to see in the comments, talk about Matisse Thybulle's defense tonight on Devin Booker, man. Obviously played really well on him tonight, even though at the end ended up getting some nice shots off. But, man, what are you going to do? It's Devin Booker. Can't do much about it. But, yeah, Chris Paul, man, crazy night for him. That, to me, that's my big thing is Chris Paul. Joel Embiid still in this loss, still played well at 38 points, 17 rebounds with 4 assists. 38 points on 23 shots. He definitely was getting DeAndre Ayton in foul trouble. 3 for 5 from 3. Also hit a nice 3 at the end. You can't complain. Can't complain about his game today. Sadly, it's not looking like I'm going to be joined by anybody tonight. Tiago is away on vacation, so he was not able to be with us tonight. Dives also, he has a baby. He's on kid duty. Not going to make him come on here. So, guys, I hope you're having a great night. Even with the loss. Obviously, I don't want to see it. But still, to be honest, a fun game to watch. And I don't think you can be that upset about it when you got a shorthanded Sixers team going up against the number 2 seed in the West with the guys like Chris Paul, Devin Booker. Even though Jay Crowder came out of the game at one point, they were relatively healthy. Another question after you guys. How do you feel about seeing Dario Saric again? Dario Saric, man, he's a guy that, can you guys imagine him still on this team if he was able to play that backup 5 role at times where he could stretch the court with Ben Simmons out there? Man, that's a guy that if he was still on this team. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't the correct move in trading him at the time to go grab Jimmy Butler, but I will say him on this team right now would be pretty ridiculous on the bench unit, in my opinion. Let's get down and dirty on these players. Let's talk about Danny Green. Danny Green, man, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 7 for 14 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3 with a nice block as well that he had early in about halfway through the game. To me, he played probably the best for the Sixers tonight, maybe besides Tyrese Maxey. I should say Joel Embiid obviously played amazing too, but Danny Green was pretty consistent throughout the whole game, defensively and offensively, which I love to see. So to me, the fact that the way he's playing at the age he's at, and think about the trade that we made for that guy. We traded away a really bad contract in Al Horford, and we're able to get back Danny Green. And with how big of a piece he's been for this team, you can't put any less value on that trade than amazing, in my opinion. Let's see who we got in the comments here. We got Ben Butler in here saying, smash the like button. Yes, please go smash the like button if you have not already. He also said, missing primary and secondary ball handler on this and the second score. Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have Tobias or Ben able to play tonight. Picked apart by point man, point god, Chris Paul. Steph one night, CP3 the next. How close was that heave at the end? Definitely, man. That heave at the end by Joel. Imagine if that went in. If that went in, that would have been ridiculous. Ridiculous. Good day. What we got here? Mr. Swagger says Joel pulled a Butler Gordon. Ben also says Dario still has heavy feet on D. Yeah, he does have heavy feet, but just for shooting alone at that 4 spot on the bench or the small ball 5 spot, I think that would still be nice. Man sound kind of weird. Interesting. I'm not sure if you're talking about me or you're talking about somebody else, but do I sound weird? Someone let me know in the comments if I sound weird. I'm checking to make sure my mic's on. My mic says my mic's still good. The mic's plugged in, so let me know if I do sound weird. But yeah, tonight, just obviously, you don't ever want to lose 2 games in a row, especially going towards the end of the season where we're trying to keep this 1 seed. But I really do think that Sixers are going to be able to keep the 1 seed. I'm pretty sure the Nets lost tonight. Now, someone in the comments let me know if I'm correct on that, but I'm pretty sure the Nets did lose tonight. So us losing should not make much of a difference. Let's get into Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey, 31 minutes tonight. Obviously played a lot more tonight than he does as he does usually, but 14 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 5 of 11 shooting with a block and 2 steals. Now, didn't hit any threes, went 0 for 3 in that territory, but overall, in my opinion, had a really good night. Had a lot of really good drives to the rim, played great defense, in my opinion, on not only just the defensive numbers, like getting the 2 steals and a block, but also just contesting shots as well. Thanks. Ben Butler says down here, Nets lost as well, 114 to 103 to the Raptors. I mean, I'll take that. That means the Nets then go to 39 and 20, as the Sixers are still 30. As now the Sixers are 39 and 19. So Sixers should still be a half game ahead of them at least. So can't be mad about this loss then, because we should still be able to keep a lead over them to keep the 1 seed, and let's hope that does happen. Let's talk about Mike Scott for a second. Can we talk about how Mike Scott is just all of a sudden just getting in the mid-range game for us? I know in college he used to be more of a mid-range scorer and a post-move kind of guy, but he's just been a 3-and-D guy pretty much since he's been in the league, and to see Mike Scott not having success in the three-point territory this year, not having success around the rim with defense and or layups, because he did miss a pretty bad layup today, but he can hit every shot with like 5 steps in from the 3-point line. So it's, not going to be mad about it, but a little frustrating. So yeah, Mike Scott, man. Confusing dude. Eagles underdog says, dude, that full court shot was wild. I agree, man. That shot, if you can, really sit there and imagine if that shot went in. I was thinking about how many different media sites how quick that would be on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. That thing would be everywhere, and I'll tell you what, this title would be way different on this video. But yeah, Chris, let's get back to the title of the video actually, because Chris Paul, man, just picking apart on the defense. Watching that guy run a pick and roll is just mesmerizing, in my opinion. He's one of my favorite players to watch personally. That's why the Suns have been so fun to watch this year. Excuse me. Chris Paul, man, like I said, 28 points, 8 assists, 10 for 17 from the field, 5 for 8 from 3. Something I want to say about Chris Paul as well is his shooting. So the interesting thing with him is his shooting isn't like Devin Booker, isn't like Seth Curry, where he's just dribbling up and shooting it, and that's like the biggest part of his game. Like a lot of the shots he's getting off are like at the end of the shot clock, and he just happens to have the ball, and he just that is not scared of the moment. Obviously, I mean, he's an older veteran player, but to me, he's just so fun to watch. And I see a comment here about Shake Milton, and that is something I want to talk about as well. Shake Milton is has not been playing well as of late. Milton has to play better. He looks lost. I think part of the problem with Shake, and don't get me wrong, I mean, he's missing shots is really the big issue. 2 for 10 tonight, 1 for 4 from 3. Ends with 5 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds, and 1 steal. Minus 17 on the night. Obviously not what you want. I think he had the worst plus minus of the night. So that's not going to be. Obviously, you don't want that. I think part of the issue with Milton is his role has been kind of weird, in my opinion, as the years gone on. With Seth Curry, with Furkan Korkmaz being in and out of the lineup at times, Tyrese Maxey being in and out of the lineup, and now George Hill trying to get him in and get him minutes. I feel like part of the problem with Milton is his role has been so different at times. So honestly, I'm wondering in the comments, and let me know. Is there any shot that he falls out of the playoff rotation with George Hill coming in here? That's something I've legitimately been thinking about. Is it possible that Furkan Korkmaz kind of takes Shake Milton's role out of the playoff rotation, being that George Hill's going to come in and most likely run most of those point guard minutes out of the bench unit? Do you think Furkan takes away a lot of the shooting guard minutes from Shake? Let me know in the comments. I want to see what you guys have to say. Yeah, Shake Eagles underdog says Shake and Mike Scott suck. I don't think they suck, but I don't think they played well tonight. And Mike Scott has not been playing well most of the year, but Mike Scott actually did not play too terrible tonight. I mean, he ended the night with 8 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound on 3 of 4 shooting with a steal, and hit both of his shots on the free throw line. So I don't. Mike Scott actually didn't play terrible tonight. He just didn't. He just did not play the role that technically he should be playing. He just got his points different places. Mr. Swagger says Shake Milton played terrible. Yeah, I can agree with that one. Eagles underdog says Maxey will look great in 2 years. He will be 6th man off the bench for sure. Listen, I mean, you can hope that. I hope that personally. I think Maxey does have a lot of upside. I think the biggest thing that keeps him from even playing a lot more right now is that 3-point shot. If he was able to shoot the 3 on a consistent basis, I think he would easily be playing some minutes over guys like Furkan or Shake at times. I think his problem is that, or not his problem, the problem with his fits in the rotation is that his shooting is just not there as much. He's more of a drive to the basket guy right now, and he's not as much of a playmaker either. So it's tough. He's a scorer, and I think that's good. It's just not exactly what they need right now around the guys on the team with the other guards that they already have. What do we got here? We got Looney Spoon saying we lost by 10 without Embiid. We lost by 3 without 3 other starters. Yep, and you know that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. We got Chiller. All right, I'm scrolling past it. Hold on, Chiller, where you at? There you are. Chiller. Tyrese looked great out there. I agree, man. I said it earlier, but yeah, Tyrese had a great night. 14 points on 5 of 11 shooting. My thing that I was impressed by was his defense, honestly, tonight as well. 2 steals and a block, and a lot of times he was guarding guys like Chris Paul and he did guard Devin Booker a few times. He just had some nice contests. So I was definitely pleased to see what we got out of Tyrese Maxey tonight. It just sucks that we couldn't get away with the win tonight without Ben and without Tobias. I do think if Ben is in this game, changes a lot, just like it would have changed a lot in the other day's game against Golden State. Ben Butler says Shake has turnover issues. Yeah, how many turnovers did he have, man? I'm actually curious of that. I mean, 4 turnovers, yeah, that's definitely not great, especially because tonight he wasn't even really the main ball handler most of the night. So that definitely isn't amazing, but yeah, I mean, we've seen that with Shake. We've seen that's been a reoccurring issue, and I think that's the big reason why George Hill was brought onto this roster early in the season. I do think Doc wanted to give Shake as much of a chance he could to be that backup point guard, and you just saw that the inconsistencies of Shake Milton been shown throughout the whole season. So hopefully George Hill can get used to and into this offense pretty smoothly throughout the next week or so, and and get ready for the playoffs because we're going to need him. Richard Trans in here. He says if Shake is not shooting, he's not providing anything else. His passing is horrendous. Yeah, I agree with you. I won't say much about his passing. It's obviously not great. I think it's more of a passing's not great, but the shooting is the main thing with him, and that's realistically what he was drafted for in a lot of ways, was because he was such a great shooter in college and in high school, and was shooting really great the past 2 years he was with the team, but it just was not happening. It's just not happening right now. Hopefully he can figure that out. A lot of stuff about Shake. Mr. Swagger says Shake needs to stop doing too much. Let Maxey and Hill be playmakers. I don't think Shake did too much tonight. I think he's doing what Coach wants him to do. What Coach Rivers consistently talks about is wanting his guards, basically. He talks about it with Matisse, talks about it with Shake, wants them to straight line drives towards the basket. You see that out of Shake a lot, but I think part of that issue is those straight line drives to the basket. Sometimes he doesn't know when not to. So I think he just automatically thinks sometimes straight line to the basket, but sometimes he goes into three defenders and then can't get the ball out to another shooter. So I think it just is it's feel, and I think that'll come. I think that'll come with consistency of the offense and consistency of role. Looney Spoon says definitely depends on the matchup. Doc probably uses them both. I think he's talking about Shake and Firth. Yeah, I think he's talking about Shake and Firth. I was talking about earlier who is going to get when it's this Furkan with Shake not playing that well right now. This Furkan end up taking away a lot of the minutes that Shake would have in a playoff rotation. Looney Spoon says definitely depends on the matchup, but I guess we'll see. What do we got going on in the comments, guys? Keep these comments rolling. I really appreciate it. I'm here by myself, so I appreciate the comments rolling. Petronius says Joel 8 turnovers, especially those 2 in a row in the third, were driving me crazy. Yeah, I think part of the problem is when Tobias Harris and Ben are not there, Joel is kind of forced to do a lot of the work and carry a lot of that load. And it's hard when you can be triple teamed the whole time, and then you also don't have Tobias Harris as another big offensive threat on the court with you at the end of the game. So I really do think, especially Tobias not being in there, has a big difference on the offense for Joel. I don't think it has much of a difference on the offense for Ben Simmons, but the defensive difference with Ben Simmons not being in this game, you saw that with how Chris Paul was able to get pretty much whatever he wanted tonight. Eagles Underdog said Maxi's defensive energy is there for sure, and his speed is lethal. Yeah, how about that block that Matisse had on Devin Booker in the corner early in the, or I'm going to say early in the game, just in the game in general. That was a nice block by Matisse on Devin. That was definitely nice. Chilla says at least the Nets lost. Yes, if you're just joining, the Nets lost today, so means that 1 and 2 seed are still locked into place. So hopefully that keeps happening if we're losing games. Obviously, like I said earlier, it sucks we lost 2 in a row, but what are you gonna do? Let's see what we got in here. Let's see. What do I want to hit on? Let's see if I want to hit on anything else before we get into anything. I'll say my player of the game already. I'll give that away. I think my player of the game tonight is obviously Chris Paul. Chris Paul just had a magnificent game. Like I said earlier, 28 points, 8 assists, 10 for 17 shooting, so 5 for 8 from 3. Point guard. Simple as that, point guard. My player of the game for the Sixers, I'm going to go with, even though I know Joel Embiid had a fantastic night, 38 points, 17 rebounds, I'm going to go with Danny Green. Danny Green just was consistent throughout the night, 18 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, 7 for 14 from the field, 4 for 7 from three-point territory. He was really impressive to me tonight. So I'm going to go with him. Obviously, I'll give Joel Embiid some love too. 38 points, 17 rebounds, 4 assists on 23 shots. So definitely a beast, as per usual. 1 block, 1 steal, 3 for 5 from 3. But the 8 turnovers definitely isn't what you need. Is not what you need tonight. Not going to get a W like that. But yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any more trends. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you saw. Looney Spoons said, player of the game, George Hill. I felt he made a difference tonight, and it gives me optimism. Yeah, I agree. I think George Hill, from what you see so far, and even though it's little moments, you definitely can be a little bit more optimistic about what kind of a difference he'll bring at that backup point guard spot. And I think it's exciting. I think it's definitely exciting. I don't see anything else I personally would talk about. Unless you guys have anything in the comments you want to get to, I think I'm going to make my way out of here. But please, if you have not already, drop a like. I know I'm here by myself tonight, which is not normal. Normally we got Tiago, we got Dides, but hopefully next game, which is tomorrow against the Bucks at 7 o'clock, Eastern Conference matchup, big big people in the East. We got Giannis Antetokounmpo versus our big man Joel Embiid. Hopefully Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris are back in the lineup, and hopefully Joel is still in the lineup. We will see. They've been in and out of the injury reports, it seems like, especially Joel. So hopefully we can see a really good matchup tomorrow. So do me a favor. Like Ben said here, appreciate you, Ben. Please drop a like on the video if you want. I'd really appreciate if you go give me a follow on Twitter, right? I hate it's mirrored. It's mirrored at right here at J_Persichetti. I'd really appreciate the follow over there. I tweet stuff out for the. I'm the beat reporter for the Painted Lines for the Delaware Blue Coats, so I tweet a lot of stuff about that. Also tweet about the Phillies. Also tweet about the Eagles, and of course our Philadelphia 76ers. Guys, I appreciate you watching. Like I said, go subscribe to the channel, like the video, and here is a word from our sponsor, and then I'm going to head out of here. So, guys, like I said, I really, really appreciate y'all watching. Peace.
Hey, what's up, guys? MLB baseball is in full swing. The NBA and NHL playoffs are right around the corner, and the NFL season is mere moments away. While we here at the Painted Lines are devoted to bringing you top-notch content from all the major sports, we are excited to also now give you the opportunity to cash in on all that content and knowledge. If you follow the link below, you will have the opportunity to sign up with BetRivers, an online sportsbook, and get an instant new user deposit match of up to $250. That's free money that you can use and try to turn into more free money. Let's go. Don't sit there and waste all that money. Turn every basket into an otherwise meaningless Cavs-Timberwolves matchup in on a random Wednesday in March. That makes it all the more exciting. For betting tips and advice, be sure to check out written content from our top prognosticator, Money Max, on our website at thepaintedlines.com, or check out the Tough Cover podcast right here on the Painted Lines YouTube channel. You've seen the commercials all over TV and radio, but now is the time. Sign up today with BetRivers using the link below and start cashing in on your love for sports. Using the link below will automatically inform BetRivers that TPL sent you, and you'll